Hey gamers, Lost in Place here from BattleStrats.com. Today we're going to be reviewing Transformers War for Cybertron. This is the latest entry in the Transformers series, and it is a standalone title that tells you the origin story of the Transformers, about a war that has raged on Cybertron between the two factions, the Autobots and the Decepticons. This is told from both the Decepticon and the Autobots' perspectives. There are two separate campaigns. Players will finally understand the motivations behind some of the greatest characters created by Hasbro. And as a result, the storyline is very good. Any Transformers fan really must play this game. It's as simple as that. If you're into them, you're really going to enjoy the story that is told here. The voice acting in this game is absolutely superb. Peter Cullen, who many of you know as the voice for Optimus Prime from the animated series and from the movie, is the voice of Optimus Prime in this game. The other voices are all different actors, but the guy who does Megatron, he does a great job as well. If I were to meet Megatron in real life, how he sounds in this game is how I suspect he would sound. As with many newer titles, the campaign offers a solo playthrough, and you can also play it cooperatively with your friends. There are up to 3 people allowed in the campaign, and it is definitely a lot easier to beat with friends in tow. The AI in the game are decent at best. I've definitely seen worse AI, but these guys aren't too bad. The one annoying thing they always seem to do is get right in front of you while you're sniping away at someone and you hit them instead of the enemy. But other than that, they were serviceable. The controls were pretty good. After a couple minutes of gameplay, you start to feel really comfortable with the button layout and everything else. My only complaint would be the left thumbstick, which you click to transform. Well, I have a very heavy thumb, and oftentimes I'd go to turn in a frantic firefight and I would accidentally transform. And that's not the best thing to do if you don't mean to do it. The layouts can be changed, but I wasn't very fond of the options. Not much customization as far as controller layout. Next, I'll focus on the solo campaign. As I said, it is much easier with friends, but if you aren't as lucky to have as many friends as I do, well, you can go ahead and tackle this just fine. There are 10 episodes, 5 for the Autobots and 5 for the Decepticons. You can choose to start off on Chapter 1, which is the Decepticon campaign, 1 through 5, or you can jump straight ahead to the Autobots, which starts at 6 and moves to 10. I would recommend starting through the Decepticon because it sets up the pre-story for the Autobot campaign. There are some pretty awesome moments in this campaign. I'm not going to go ahead and spoil that for you, but if you are even a small fan of Transformers, you will recognize a lot of the characters. Some of the battle scenes are pretty hectic. There are a lot of boss battles at the end of each episode, and that is definitely for some fun. When you're playing alone, you can move at your own pace and marvel at the sights and sounds of Cybertron. The graphics are pretty good. My only complaint would be that the color purple and black seem to be everywhere I look. A little bit on the darker side, but still very nicely done. The weapons are all based in the Transformer universe, but they are quite simply your basic types of guns. They're shotguns, pistols, machine guns, sniper rifles, heavy weapons, missile launchers, grenades, detachable turrets, and more. You can go back and play each chapter multiple times if you like, with friends or without them. What makes this replayable is that you're able to select different characters or change your difficulty segments, and that definitely ups the replay value. Now, as much fun as I had with the solo campaign, don't expect a revolutionary gameplay experience. As I already mentioned, the game isn't particularly challenging, and that's especially true when you're tackling it with friends. Also, the third-person action is kind of conventional. You'll just bop around the most linear levels, and you'll blast things as you go. Next up, we're going to go over the co-op campaign, and I have a special guest joining us, the Red Dragon from BattleStrats.com. Thanks for joining us, Red.
Welcome.
So, Red, first off, what is your overall impression of the co-op campaign mode?
Well, I have to tell you, I wasn't that impressed with the single-player campaign experience. I was playing by myself for a while until you hopped online, and one of your friends also joined us. And I tell you what, it just made a meh experience a really good one. Definitely co-op in this game is a lot of fun playing with 2 other live action players. You really have to work together. You know, if one of you goes down, you have to, go and revive that person in a timely manner. And just working together, it was a good experience overall for the co-op.
I would have to agree. With the ability to revive and heal each other, it opens up a bunch of different strategic options. So what was your favorite part of the segment that we played together?
Probably the coolest thing we experienced was there was a level where all three of us were on top of these slugs with turrets, and I mean we were just blasting our way through everything, and that was a lot of fun. It's something that I haven't really seen in the game. I've never had the pleasure of riding a slug before.
Another one I really enjoyed was there was a defensive sequence where we had to protect Ratchet while he was healing Omega Supreme. And enemies were coming from left, right, above us, below us. And it was a ton of fun because we had to communicate with each other where the enemies were coming from, where the ammo would spawn. And it made a lot of difference compared to when I played this on a single-player campaign. Alright, Red, the last thing I'm going to ask is, what negative feelings did you get while playing this game? Anything you could elaborate on for us?
The one negative for me is it fits for co-op and just the campaign in general, and that's just the map layouts. Every map that I played on, it felt like I was playing the same map. There really wasn't a big diversity of maps and how they were presented.
Well, hopefully I've helped you guys out in making a decision if you wanted to get this game. Check out part 2 where I cover Escalation, which is a game type where you fight wave after wave of enemies, and the multiplayer. This is Lost in Place, checking out.